Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Hello. Hi, Semi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, what's new for you tonight?
Not much. Just enjoying the cool night air.
Yeah, we're getting ready for. It's very windy right now. As I look out my window, the leaves are blowing across everywhere, and everybody's saying it's going to rain tonight. So maybe we'll see some of that tonight.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, welcome. Feel free to introduce yourselves and say hi in the audience. We've got a few things planned for folks tonight. Semi, do you want to say a little bit about what you're working on tonight?
Yes, so I'm going to be working on continuing my work on Flexboxes, just taking it a bit further, working with the moon phases.
Yeah. So you'll be taking the moon phases further, and I'm going to also continue working on this. If you're in the audience and you're a new programmer, feel free to share with us that because we love to help people who are learning and whatnot. But this example right here that I'm working on is a problem about if you have 4 friends who are visiting the movie theater together, Alice, Bob, Carol, and Deborah. If they're visiting the movie theater together, and they have 4 seats that are all next to each other, how many different ways can they sit with each other? Or not how many, but what are the different ways that they could sit with each other? So we'll be exploring that together in HTML and CSS. And tonight, we also have a few announcements. So
All right. Starting off with the Discord.
Yeah.
We have a Discord where you can message us to get help with coding problems. We also list our events on there too.
Yeah. I just pasted the link in the chat too for folks.
Perfect. And then, so there's the link if you want to invite. Every Thursday, we have a coding lab, open coding lab where you can come be in community with other programmers, whether you're a beginner or someone who has a lot of expertise. You can come in, get help with your programming projects, and have a little bit of fun. Last bit, we have the Code Whatever website. You can also see our latest events on there. You can take a look at the team. Yeah. We also have a link on there for our GoFundMe where you can donate to our organization. That's it for announcements.
Thanks, Semi. Yeah. So I'm going to start off now working on this problem here of the 4 friends. And as I start here, what do you notice? Feel free, if you're a guest on the show, a guest in the audience, to share it in the chat. And also, Semi and I are here learning together, even as we're facilitating and teaching. So we're learning with each other. So folks don't answer in the audience. We'll share with each other, but you can answer in the audience too. What do you notice here?
I noticed that you typed in the command ls.
Yeah, I typed in ls. What are you noticing now?
I'm noticing that you've used a command called touch. You've typed in a file name.
Yeah, and as I'm going, folks, feel free to share in the chat what you notice, and also Sunny and I are going to share what we're noticing with our work together. Yeah, what are you noticing now?
You've used the word keyword Emacs and typed in the file name.
Yeah, and how about now?
Checked out the words hello world.
Yeah, I'm also noticing that I have these angle brackets here, and I have the letters H1. And then over here, I've got the angle brackets again, and I've got a slash. And are there any puzzles so far?
No puzzles yet. I'll let the audience talk about that one.
And then what are you noticing now?
So I noticed you had hello world in big bold letters.
Yeah, what are you noticing as I refresh here?
More words have appeared.
More words have appeared. Does anyone notice any patterns in how we're doing this? Anyone notice any patterns?
So I noticed that there is whatever you type on this screen, on the black screen, or in your text editor, comes out on the web browser.
Whatever I'm typing on this screen comes out on this screen. Yeah. And if we test that, right, if I add an A here that's random, we see an A that's random here added. And then I'm going to add a few divs. Yeah, and what are you noticing here?
Noticing you've typed the words Alice and Bob in between two div tags.
So yeah, and so now we've now what do you notice here? Oops. What do you notice now?
See the word cat?
Yeah.
PB copy. That's interesting.
Yeah, and what do you notice now?
Seems to have printed everything you had before. It's just here outside of the AMX screen.
And what are you noticing now?
Yeah. Got a couple of errors. Put the code into this website.
Yeah, there's a few errors here, right?
Right.
So it says consider adding a lang attribute to the HTML start tag to declare the language of the document. So what are you noticing here?
You're still on your Emacs screen, is that?
Yeah, did anything change on the site?
No.
What about this first line here?
I do see the doc type. That's new.
Yeah, and there's like I'm noticing here, right? It's also got the less than and it's got the greater than, but it's also got this exclamation point, and this word's all in caps. This is lowercase and it says HTML. And yeah, as folks are going, feel free to just share what you're noticing. What are you noticing here?
You still have a lot of warnings, even though you've added in that.
Now what do you notice?
Okay, we have less errors. It says we're missing a head.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it says we're missing a head?
Yeah.
Ah.
A head element.
Mm-hmm. Head. So well, actually, what do you notice here?
I notice if you stuck in a title now.
And what do you notice here?
You've run the same cat index.html command, but nothing's popped up.
Mm-hmm. And what do you notice here?
So notice that there's a new warning that's popped up. Maybe it's the same warning. We have the same stuff going on.
Let's see. Now what do you notice?
Still have the head thing.
Yeah, if I read this one, it says start tag head scene, but an element of the same type was already open.
Yeah.
What are you noticing now?
So I'm noticing the head is gone. The head error.
The header is gone now. And then what do you notice now?
Well, now it's completely, there's no errors anymore.
Yeah, I see it says also document checking completed, no errors or warning to show. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that we have this, I think we have our boilerplate, right?
Yeah. So this is our boilerplate code.
Do you want to take it, Semi?
Yes, I do.
I'm going to pass to Semi now.
All right, so notice I've already put in the title, but I can change it. Well, that wasn't what I was going for, but yeah. So I want everybody to take notice of my screen. And take notice of, delete that. To take notice of my folder so far. So I'm in the folder called IP, and I have a whole bunch of pictures in here that we're going to be working with. So I'm going to start off. Do you so I'm going to start off by so what does everybody notice here?
I'm noticing that you've added this extra tag, this thing, and it's also an H1, just like the other one. And it says moon phases with Flexbox, and now your blank page shows moon phases with Flexbox. And it's in big black text, like it's bold.
Yes.
And now it's capital.
Right. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add in, or What does everybody notice here? However, we add this. Notice in between the output and the screen.
I'm noticing that you added the between the less than and greater than sign here, that the words or letters IMG that are separated by a space, and then there's letters SRC equals, and in quotes, there's the word moon phases and a backslash and moon phases dot JPG, and then another quote. And there's a space, and there's the letters ALT, an equal sign, a quote that says young space moon. And I'm wondering,
Yes.
I've got a little puzzle that I'm wondering too. Is there
Go
a
ahead.
way? Now there's this thing here that says ALT equals young moon. Is there a way that we can see what that is exactly?
Yes, we can use a screen reader. Fortunately, I don't have one downloaded. You can also sometimes hover over. So just real quick, I'm going to take away that source. And what do you notice now?
I'm noticing that there's like an image icon there, kind of, and then it says young moon.
And look what happened. Take a look at what happens when I delete the young.
Oh, now it says just moon.
Yeah. And if I put back a source,
Now the image is there again.
yeah.
And I don't see the young moon.
Right. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And tell me if you think that anything has changed, or if you see anything that's changed.
Wait, I think I missed the change. Okay. I didn't see much of a change.
Right. That was what's supposed to happen. So now I want you to, I'm going to copy this. And notice, I want you to take a look. I believe this is called a crescent moon. I can never remember though. Or quarter moon. Can you take a look and make any connections between these file names and file paths in here?
I notice that there's moon phases 1 and moon phases 2, both on the left and on the right.
Right. You said so there are moon phases 1 and 2 here and here.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to move this out, move at least one of these out, I'm moving it outside of this folder. And just one level up for now. What happened there?
Can you scroll up and down? It looks like one of the images is broke now again.
Yeah. And if I move it back, or no, not if I move it back, if I just...
Now they're both there. And I saw that you deleted moon phases in a backslash.
Right. And if I put it back, and put this back in this folder. What do you notice? Or what connection do you make between the locations of the files and whatever happens on here, on this output screen, on the browser page?
I'm noticing that when the file was moved outside, it didn't work until you deleted moon phases backslash. And when the file was moved inside, that you had to bring back moon phases slash.
Right.
So then there's a connection between this folder moon phases and moon phases backslash here.
Yes, exactly. What I'm hearing is there's a connection between what's in the folder and what this says.
Yeah, because there's inside of the folder, there's each name: moon phases 1, 2, 3, all the way through 9.
And remember what happened when I deleted this and moved this out here or outside of the folder?
Yeah. Well, you mean when you deleted the same one in the text editor as the one you moved outside the folder?
Yeah.
It kept working.
Deleted moon phase 1, or deleted at least the first part, and moved this outside of the folder. And it kept working, right? Okay, so that's as far as I want to go for now. BA, do you want to take it over?
Yeah. Yeah, and and what are you noticing?
I'm noticing you're typing out more names. Yeah, more names in the text editor.
Yeah. And What do you notice now?
You've added in something called style. You've changed the color, and inside of it says background color hot pink.
What are you noticing?
I'm noticing that we have a whole various amount of colors highlighted. We have our names highlighted in various colors of pink.
Yeah, so we have our names with different colors, and what do you notice now?
So I notice Alice is in white.
You notice Alice is in white, and
Everything else is in black.
everything else is in black. What do you notice now?
So I noticed that you put the color in white.
I put a color in white. Did you notice anything else? I admit this was sneaky of me. I typed section here. But then
I was wondering if that was what it was.
Yeah. But yeah, well, what do you notice as well?
Yeah, I noticed nothing's changed when you've done that. Bless you.
What do you notice here?
So I noticed that you typed out the word grid.
Yeah.
In display.
What do you notice now?
Oh no. Bob and Delilah are taking up half of the lines.
What do you notice now?
Bob and Alice are much thicker, and Alice is centered. Bob is still at the top left, right?
Yeah, Bob is at the top left and Alice is centered. What do you notice now?
Yeah, now Bob is centered.
Bob's centered as well now. Now, as I do this, what do you notice about my typing?
Sounds very acoustic. Yeah.
We got some acoustic typing going on here.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I'm thinking of is just that I'm typing an awful lot, right?
Yeah, you are.
And I'm repeating myself. So it raises an interesting question, which I'll come back to after I pass it to you.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Type this out. Let this go. You notice if anything's changed as I've done that? I'll scroll up and down for you.
Wait, maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention. Can you undo for a sec?
Yeah.
I think I saw, but oh. Then can you bring it back? Doesn't look like anything changed except for class container.
Exactly. So now what I'm going to do is add in, we're going to also work with CSS, just in a different way. Forgive me, I should be typing this out, but I'm just going to paste this in. Just real quick, take a look. We have a body tag, we have an H1 tag, we have a couple of div tags. One of them has something extra in it, and some image tags and some p tags. Let's see. Choose a color, any color.
How about Burleywood?
Okay.
But do we like Burley? Are we satisfied with Burleywood?
Nice color, strange name. Reminds me of the inside of a tree, of a cut tree. But yeah. So what do we notice here?
I noticed that the background color of this page has changed.
Yeah, it's changed to Burleywood. I'm just gonna put the spacing in right. Now let's take a look at these images here. So I'm gonna go ING. I'll put these side by side so that everybody could see too. So what do you notice there?
I notice that the images got a lot smaller.
Right. And if I resize the page,
They keep getting larger.
but what if I did this? Instead of a percent sign, I typed out PX.
They're teeny tiny now. And I
Yeah.
noticed you typed 20 px.
Yeah, I did. I'll just make this mistake real quick. I'm just gonna do this real quick.
Yeah.
Make my text a little bigger.
Yeah, I notice you're searching through the preferences.
Yeah, we're just gonna make the screen text a little bit bigger so that people on the stream could see.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Now that's too big for me, but whatever, it's a sacrifice, right? Wonder if I could get away with 15. How's that for you?
15 is okay on my side.
Okay. So
I think 16 or 18 is like, what is it? Is it 18 or 16 that's like often recommended? But I think this is good.
All right. So I've changed it back. And sorry, that's so fast. We've gone back to percent sign. Can you tell me any connections you see between pasting this in here and having this separate file?
So some things that I noticed that the style.css file that has the words on the left, body and img, which I also notice in index.html. I see two tags in here that say img, and we appear to have lost Semi. I'm sure they'll be right back. In the meantime, while we're waiting for them, I'll code a little bit more. Oh, here, they're back.
Sorry.
Welcome back. No worries. Is it thundering by you?
No, it's just cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so where were we before?
So I was noticing, we were talking about IMG and body and that I can see that body and IMG are both in style.cs, and I can see they're also both in index.html, and that when you changed IMG's width to 20%, now the images, which were previously larger, have gotten smaller, and they resize as you resize the screen.
Yes, exactly. So IMG gets larger when you have the 20%.
Mm-hmm. And I also know that style.css is under your link. It says link on the left, and then it says rel equals style sheet in quotes, and then space href equals quote style.css quote. And I noticed that the CSS file is also called style.css.
All right, perfect. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one more thing and I'll pass it back to you, VA.
Great.
I'm going to type out.
Mm-hmm.
The word div. What do you notice here?
I notice that now around the images is this light blue color. And I notice also that inside of div, you say background color as your blue. When I look at index.html, I see the img tags, and then I see surrounding them are div is the word div with the angle brackets as well.
Right. And that color is kind of annoying me, so I'm going to go with this.
And now I'm noticing that it's changing to a darker blue in the same place.
Yes, exactly. Now, I'm going to go ahead and type out. And I'm going to replace this div with this word right here. And a dot in front, or a period in front. What do you notice there?
I noticed that everything is also becoming blue.
Right. Now,
Around
go ahead.
And I also noticed that on line 13, where it says div space class equals quote container quote greater than sign.
Right. So we noticed that. What was that last part?
That class equals quote container quote greater than sign.
Right. And now I'm going to copy. I already did it, but I'm copying this exact code here. I'm changing it to red. And that's not the change I want. I'm replacing this word with this word. What do you notice now?
I notice here that the red applies to the whole thing, but in the middle there is some blue.
And what if?
I see inner div. I see dot inner div is associated with the red, and container is associated with the blue.
Right. Exactly. All right, so now I'm going to pass it over to BA.
Thanks, Semi. And we have just a little bit of time left right now, but I'm going to do a couple things here. What do you notice?
So I notice that we still have Alice. We have a lot of 1FRs going on. We got 4.
Yeah, we have 4 1FRs. What do you notice as I refresh here?
I noticed that everything's on the same line now. That wasn't like that before.
Yeah, so everything's on the same line now, and it wasn't there before. So now we have our basic setup. And we talked before about this kind of problem that we were experiencing. We talked about this problem of having to do a lot of typing. What do you notice?
I noticed that you've added in between the style tag, and in between there you have the word .c, and you've worked on padding. You've set a value for padding.
Yeah, so we have 2 style tags. We have a dot seat, and inside of it, we've got padding 5. And if I save that and refresh, what do you notice?
I noticed we have the same thing as before.
We have the
just
same
with less code.
We have the same thing before with less code. Well, interesting. Let's see. What now if I do this, oops. What do you notice here?
Alice is up high, is up in the left, while everybody else is not.
Yeah, Alice is up in the left while everybody's not.
Alice is doing her own thing. So.
Now, what do you notice?
Alice has moved over a tiny bit, if I'm not mistaken.
What do you notice now?
I noticed that Alice and Bob are on the same level, but Clara and Delilah are not.
And what do you notice now?
There's still Delilah's in the right spot, as in the not the right spot, but on the same level as Alice and Bob.
What are you noticing has changed in the code?
Oh, I don't. Okay. So you've gotten rid of a lot of the padding 15, just leaving the colors mostly. Yeah, just leaving the colors.
Yeah. Did I add anything else?
Up top, so I could see.
There's up top.
No, it doesn't look like you've added anything. So unless I missed something.
Up top is the same. What about these class equals seat?
Yes, that too. You've added that.
So now, if I wanted to change this, What do you notice?
Padding's getting bigger.
Ooh, look at that. What do you notice now?
Nothing else happens.
Ooh, wait.
Now I see some red.
You
Very
see some red?
thin now. Oh, it's gone now.
Actually,
Was I seeing things?
now what do you
Wow.
notice?
I see some dots. Yeah. I thought I saw some red, but maybe not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the dots for Alice is white. Everybody else is black.
Mm. Now what do you notice?
Everybody's black. I mean, everybody's red.
Everybody's red. What do you notice now?
I noticed that it's a bit bigger.
It's gotten larger, yeah. So now we're just about ready to end. Anything else that you want to explore? Any questions or puzzles from anybody in the audience or from you or from me?
Nothing much. I don't feel like I got as far as I could, but that's okay. Yeah, I had a great time.
Same. This is really great. And next week we're gonna be back again. So feel free to and we'll be back on Thursday as well. I'm gonna put some links in the chat so you can join if you want our Discord again, our meetup. And if you want to donate to our website again, it's codewhatever.us. And thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Semi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thanks so much.